zero to hero, momentum makers, momentum creators. Let's go.
So imagine, what if you could try on clothes without ever stepping into a store, or better yet, without the clothes even existing yet? So today we're talking to Chandralika Hazarika, co-founder and CEO of a Bigthinx, the AI startup that's changing the way we shop. And imagine scanning your body in seconds, getting the perfect fit online, and never dealing with returns again. Sounds like the future? Well, she's building it. So welcome, C. I can call you C.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much for being with us. It's a great pleasure, and we are super curious to hear.
Yes. First of all, thank you so much. Lovely to be with two wonderful ladies here. I'm always the happiest when I see another woman there on the other side. So thank you so much. So I'm the co-founder of Bigthinx 3D AI, and we started, long back when the term fashion technology wasn't cool. In fact, the term fashion technology did not exist because fashion always has been all about touch and feel. And today, after all these years, I cannot express how amazing it feels that the biggest companies reach out to us, like just trying to understand how they can incorporate technology. So, what do we actually do? So, Big Things 3D AI is an award winning fashion tech company that's transforming the way we shop, create, and interact. Very important because we all do all of it while shopping without knowing. So we are disrupting the whole fashion industry with AI for digital clothing, PDP, that is product displays, how we visualize things, virtual beings, obviously. You already highlighted that a bit, and transformational digital shopping experiences. The pandemic has made us extremely demanding, and we want everything hyper personalized to our needs. So what our solution does is it includes automatic high 3D content creation at scale, which is the biggest challenge the fashion industry or the whole lifestyle industry is facing today, 3D content creation. And when we combine this with Gen AI, 3D visualizations and interactive tools, they all help you shop better. And finally, these products, they help brands personalize shopping, enhance supply chain, boost profitability, improve their whole sustainability, and ultimately reduce their cost. So what we're doing is we're helping fashion brands create 3D content 10x faster and 90% cheaper.
Wow, that's
That's
amazing. Sounds like a
incredible.
dream.
Thank you.
And also, I have to say, I looked at your website a little bit to see how the technology works, right? And the 3D dimension of the bags, for example, I think it's super fascinating, and I would love to have a product like that or a service like that in one of the major brands. It makes the shopping experience way easier and much better. So I think it's incredible, and we'll get into it in a second, but we wanted to start a little bit more from your previous experience. So you have a background, you have a background in branding and marketing. So I was wondering, how did you switch from that to AI, and
Yes.
how did you have the idea, right, of Bigthinx
Yes.
with the
No.
AI?
Yes, that's a very interesting question. Actually, I'm an architect, so I'm supposed to be designing buildings. So I've
Wow.
done my graduation is an architect. I'm an architect engineer. So is my co-founder Shivang. So we both met in college. So we're supposed to be designing buildings now. But what we never realized is, architecture is all about CAD softwares, visualizing things in 3D. And we always have a human scale to it. So when you design even a room, you always put a human inside it. So we always need to understand the human scale. Unknowingly, I did not realize that it will be so beneficial in what I do in Bigthinx 3D AI. And then after that, when I did my management, which is a very rare thing for architects to do. Architects usually go for maybe town planning. They don't go for management in finance, maybe. So coincidentally, both me and my co-founders After architecture, did our management separately. And so I was into, purely branding and more on the human side of things. So one thing, I had a corporate experience of 8+ years helping, with a lot of globally. I was the global brand head. That definitely taught me a lot of the, cultural nuances or the sensitivity of how you need to be very sensitive towards very different cultures. That also helps because fashion has to be very sensitive. You cannot hurt anyone's sentiments. So slowly we realize to really impact at scale. Like I can be sitting in London, I can impact in US, I can impact in, some part of India, Asia. It's only possible with technology. It really helps you reach masses with the right use of technology. Only technology can help you, processes, repetitive processes, for example. So what we do in 3D content creation now, for example, without taking brand names, suppose one of the fastest selling brand has got 36 cycles. Okay. That means by the time they try to do anything manually, the cycle is over, the new collection is there. So it's impossible without technology if you try to do manually with CAD softwares. So that's when we realize, no, we have to accept technology. Whatever we try to create and we want to impact the fashion industry, it has to be with technology. We never realized it's AI. It eventually turned out to be AI because when we started, AI was not such a cool thing to do. But now, I mean, this year everything is all about AI, right? So yeah, that's how we got into technology. And how did we start the idea? It was very simple. As both of you, I'm sure you don't have the bandwidth to keep waiting, ordering. It comes, you don't have the bandwidth to, keep again returning. And it's not only about your valuable time, but it's just a depressing experience. So that's the simple problem we started solving. And we started understanding how is it possible. We realized the only way is to understand the human body first, because you and I both can be the same height, same weight, with different body types completely. So we need to understand the different ethnicity, everything into that, right? Different countries are different. So that's the problem we started solving, eventually evolved, and today we are into 3D content creation, working with the biggest brands. So yes, eventually we got into that.
Yes, so basically you create kind of like avatars as well to try on the different clothes, right?
Yeah.
And I read that you participated also to a program and you won kind of like a program, and you got Prada as an incubator at some point, or you worked with Prada as well. I don't know if you can share some other big names, but you are really like
Thank you.
like you're really selling your technology to giants in the fashion industry, and the fashion industry isn't that like the easiest one when it comes to AI and technology. It's not like tech driven, let's say. So how has it been so far for you? Like, what's the biggest setback that you had so
Yes.
far?
The biggest setback from when I started to this year, I mean, I'll just tell the change. When I started, oh my God, it was a nightmare.
Yeah, I can
Trying to tell
imagine, because
any brand to go digital, to touch technology, was a nightmare because they would just not listen to it. They would just say, why do I need to go digital? Why do I need to do everything is perfect? And psychologically, I think people were just a bit scared of technology
yeah.
as a sector. They just did not, they're very close about it. But when the pandemic hit, the world had to accept technology. Suddenly, imagine we were not supposed to touch anything, right? When you say everything was a touch and feel, suddenly you're like, oh my God, I don't want to go. I want to go to the store, but can I not try it? Is it there's a way that I
True.
still buy this dress, but I don't want to imagine putting a dress somebody else might have tried. These are the different things. The pandemic was so bad for the world, but it just evolved so many industries. Fashion was deeply, deeply, touched by it, that they had to accept technology. And this year, right, 2025, just last 2 days, two of the biggest brands in the world, without naming them, were e-commerce. They reached out to us. One is the biggest, again, I'll not say name. One is the biggest, like they have daily drops. Like they have daily, maybe 1,000 drops every morning of 1,000 dresses every morning. And imagine for them how will they do the photo shoots? Like maybe midnight every day, they're getting the new drops of 1,000 dresses, maybe 10,000 garments every day. There is no way for them to do a photo shoot. They have to accept technology, whether it's the photo shoots or how they can find innovative ways using AI or avatars. How can they create those shoots and go live on the website, right? Or how can they reduce the returns? Because if they have 1,000 drops of just dresses every day, imagine the return rate, because people, maybe the price points are so favorable that all of us are going and buying without checking the sizes. And when they have such heavy drops, they don't have proper size charts. That means even if you want to check the bust is 34, 36, maybe it's wrong. And ultimately we return because the measurements mentioned either is not there. So just an example, they have to accept technology. And last 2 days, one was the biggest pain point was that another pain point people are reaching out to us, except, our normal use cases is, many fast fashion companies don't have tech packs, for example. Tech packs, is where the garments are manufactured. Now they are always with the manufacturers. Maybe the headquarters is in London or in New York, and the factory is in some part in Sri Lanka, for example. Now the headquarters don't have access to anything. And then they come to us, guys, can your 3D technology help us, create something? And it is amazing how the fashion industry has evolved. And they come to us with the weirdest problems and we're like, okay, let's think of it. Yes, we can do it. Let's do it. Because we have so much of database that we have created, over the years. These problems are tiny when they come to us, and I always request them, can you help us with data, or can you give us a month's time? We'll solve it for you. So yes, that's how fashion industry is beautiful today. Yeah, they are accepting technology a lot. And coming back to the biggest names, so yes, I'm based in London now. Before that, we were in Milano. Beautiful city, obviously, and the fashion capital of the world. And I must, appreciate Prada, because they had an accelerator where one of the partners with SBC, and they selected, I think, 10 or 11 startups globally in the fashion tech space to move to Milan and work closely with the biggest names. Sometimes we're not aware of these names like Deda Group. There are so many. Milan has amazing fashion brands, and they are, the brands who work with the biggest luxury brands in the world. And that's how we moved there. We had the privilege of having the guidance, because it's amazing how these luxury brands work. I totally love their obsession with quality, attention to detail, which most of the fast fashion brands maybe ignore. Like, I always give this example of, if you pick up a original, without taking the name, a luxury brand bag, look at the stitches. The stitches will tell you everything. Next time you see a fake brand, you can easily figure out it's a fake brand. It's because of the stitches. The obsession with
So true.
so obsession of the stitches is outstanding. And right now, if you go to Gucci website, go to the bag collection, and you will see some of the bags, there'll be a tab that says view in 3D. And exactly what you said, please go and play around the 3D. It's all created by us. It's live on
Wow,
Gucci.
that's incredible. Huge congrats.
No, thank you so much. So yeah, thank you so much. So please do, I'll send you the links after this call. So definitely, go and look out the bags. And the only, I think I have to give them the feedback. So many women who are, who really love Gucci bags, I send the links, they try it out. And then they come and tell me, why can't I open the zipper? I want to open the zipper.
Like,
I'm like,
even next step, they're asking more and more, because the product, like, just the image and service is so good.
yes. So it's just
Rightfully
3D.
so.
You play around, you zoom in, study the stitches, and as close as you want. And to be honest, we already have a version with stitches open. It's just that maybe for this, particular requirement, it was not there. But yes, it's a feedback for the brands that women love to open the zippers and see what's inside the bag.
Yeah, we want to try the capacity, right? We want to see what's going to fit inside, if it's only for the keys, for the cell phone, and that's it, or there is
Yes.
actually some more space,
Or more
for, I don't know,
partitions, right?
lipstick and
Yeah, we love the partitions. Like here we'll keep the money, here we keep some cosmetics. Yes. So this is the request all women got back. So hopefully soon I will share some more links with Zipper on.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's the project for the future, right? This is the next
Yes.
step for the company.
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
amazing. And see, do you remember when was, for example, like the moment when you had like a kind of like a big break that made you think, hey, this is really gonna work. I really doing something like innovative,
Yes.
and I want to invest all my time and my energy on this.
As founders, the moment you quit your job, like you quit your high paying job, and first month when you just sit and your salary doesn't come in, oh my God, 3 months I got panic attacks. I mean it. It was like, okay, I have to make money.
No one talks about that, but that is an awful moment. Like
That's so
the first
awful
period when
moment.
you don't get any salary, it's so freaking
It is.
scary
Yes, it
and
is
terrifying.
very,
So yeah.
and plus when you work in a company you get a lot of privileges, maybe like your health insurance and things like that, and suddenly everything is taken and it definitely hits you hard, and it was very hard for me. And but it was like, okay, I've taken the hard stand. Now the fashion industry was closed and I'm not going to give up. So I'm going to keep pushing and try convincing these companies till one day they will say, we need to go digital. Can we work with you? So it was that phase of purely not giving up, just not giving up, and
Amazing.
kept working on, like, obviously when you create a prototype, you don't have any money, right? So it's me and my co-founder who built the prototype. He's an amazing coder, he's a pure genius, and this is for tech company. So we started working on it. We did a lot of validation, talking to the founders of some of the biggest e-commerce players and all that. You have to do, you can't be just blind and think it's going to work. You have to get it validated from the industry, right? Experts. Learn from others' mistakes. You cannot do everything yourself. You won't survive. You have to learn from others' mistakes. So kept focusing, and I think the moment it was, yes, having an accelerator like SBC Milano picking us was a great thing. That is just like, okay, it's one of the biggest brands trusting us. Some of the biggest brands were talking to us. Let's not give up. And after that, one of the biggest, I'm not telling names, sorry guys, for NDAs. One of the biggest Fortune 500 company retailer from the US was one of my biggest enterprise clients. And they came to us saying that they want to go digital. It's impossible for them because it's not scalable, it's not economical. And they had a team of 3D artists, maybe 100 sitting, and they still couldn't do anything about it. And they reached us. We worked
And
with the top
why is
100.
that for the type of product without saying
It
any names? So
no
just
no it
because
is
of the
Yes, no, it is when you try to create a basic, maybe the overcoat that she's wearing, the beautiful overcoat. Look at the texture. To create that in 3D, they have to maybe it'll take them, expert will take them 10 hours with the proper
Mhm.
texture in one size. Maybe they created 10 hours for one overcoat with just an extra small size.
Mm,
Now, when you are a brand, you have different sizes, still maybe triple XL, maybe 7, 8 size grading. It's called size grading. Maybe they'll take 5, 6 days to create just one overcoat. How can you make it scalable, right? Obviously, it's very expensive, but by the time you cover your whole season is over. There's no point. You
yeah.
cannot do visualization, you cannot do anything. And they wanted things that could automate the process of, so if they have one, for example, file created, they wanted something that would automate and create in all size gradings. So we created something that would create the size grading in just 30 seconds instead of maybe a week or more. So yes, these are different ways. So when the biggest brand, one of the biggest Fortune 500 company from the US worked with us so closely, we learned a lot from them. Obviously, it was a big corporate. So yes, that's the time you don't give up. Yes, I mean, obviously, you don't still make money as founders, but yes, you're working with the biggest brands, and that's the time I guess we realize the industry just needs us, and we can't give up.
And yeah, and see, as we said before, the AI for fashion isn't exactly like the easiest category to raise funding in, and as fashion isn't just like typically seen as tech first industry. So many VCs can prefer to invest in, like, I don't know, more like tech company, fintech companies. So how did you convince the first investors to bet on you?
It is still not changed, and if I can reach out to even one, male or female founder doing in this space, I'm sure they're having it very hard, because till date, investors are very scared of touching the fashion and the fashion tech space. I think one of the biggest reasons is they don't understand it so well. Like, investors are very good with finance. So if you do a fintech company, HR tech company, they have a comfort level that I know this space. If they need guidance, yeah, I'm there. But when you try to create super innovative stuff in the fashion industry, yes, they don't understand it. So obviously it scares them, because I feel bad. I do understand over the years with my experience, even investors have a LP to answer to. I understand it. So they have it hard. So it's definitely hard. But the only way, once you have validation, right? You have traction. You have shown that, yes, my product is live there. See, can you just go and check that bag? This company, I help them go digital. I help them save 70% of their returns. Once you have those numbers, ultimately investors want return on their money, right? So once you can show that, yeah. So, but it's not going to be easy, but I don't think anyone should give up if you are solving an actual problem in the market. Everything is going to change for you.
I don't know if you can disclose how much did you raise so far, and at which point did you actually start raising money?
Yeah, no, I will not disclose the amount, but we have bootstrapped a long way. My co-founder actually, as I said, is a serial entrepreneur. He sold his house. He sold his
Wow.
house and he put
Wow.
money. Yeah, he's different. So we are like the
All
hyper,
in.
yeah, all in, hyper dedicated. Yeah. So he sold his house and the entire money he put in the company. And we bootstrap a long way. As I said, initially it's going to be hard. Then you have to have the will not to give up and take it to a point where the big companies start working with you, right? And then, okay, you're in a safe space and then the rest will follow. But yeah, it's going to be hard. And after that, when we rose not such a big amount at all, not like 20-30 millions as happens in the US, a very, very less amount. But we were very smart to take money from the right people. So it's
Yes.
never about the money. It's about your partners, who's going to push you to the right clients, right? And that's what founders need. I need to be able to focus on my products so that I have at least a few partners who have my back and will introduce, or just some warm intros. That's all we need. The rest I will do it. So one of my investors or partners is one of the biggest manufacturers in the world. They manufacture for biggest, the names, like, I'm not taking names, the biggest names that all of us are wearing maybe right now. So they do manufacture. That means they have inroads to all these brands. So they come up, if we need an introduction, it really is useful. And they know this brand so well. Sometimes, see, we read that that particular brand has filed for bankruptcy. Till then, we don't know. We will try to keep reaching that brand, and maybe we even deliver. And it happened to us. After delivering, the
Wow.
brand says, "Hey, we are bankrupt." And like, why didn't you tell me? I'm a small company. I delivered you everything. It's the
And they
time
didn't
of
pay
my
you. They can't
no,
pay you.
they can't pay. This is very common. So if you have the right partners, at least they can tell you the truth because they're deep in the market. They can tell you, right? And just yesterday, biggest company you must have read has filed for bankruptcy, shutting all the stores in
Yeah.
the US, right? Forever 21 is shutting all the stores in the US, I think. Yes. So
Yeah.
things like that can be scary. So yes, you raise money when you need to, but only from the right people. Because if you get it from the wrong people, then you are in trouble.
Yeah, I can imagine. How do you actually find the right people? Like, did you actually get some connection out of the accelerator program that you participated in, or
Yes,
some
yes,
other
definitely. So I say, as founders, you need to do everything in the world. Trust me. Even if you're sleeping, your brain is working. And if you have decided to be a founder, that's the way you need to be. Because even if I sleep for 3 hours, I know it is not healthy, but I open my eyes and my phone is here. I am like, oh my God, what changed in the 3 hours? Because AI
That's
is moving
crazy.
so fast right now, right? AI is moving so fast right now, and I work 7 days. And that's the same for me every day. So contacts is the only thing a founder can dream of. You need to have contacts, contacts, contacts. You need to have them on your WhatsApp, whatever software you use for messaging. You need to have people just a message away to ask them for the right guidance. And that is not going to come easy with crazy hard work. I have a huge box. I have kept all the events, the accelerators, everything that I've attended all over the world. And I've just kept it from day one to now. Oh my God, I might have tears in my eyes, but that is what each event, each accelerator has created new contacts for me. Some will be just useless advice. You need to learn between the people who are just saying for the sake or who are genuine. Some will go out of the way to give an introduction for you. So obviously you need to have your own sixth sense, use your brains. Your time is very valuable, right, for founders. And yes, the first investors, I think it was through common contacts. They were actively looking for the right companies and they were not able to find. And somebody said, no, you need to talk to this company. And I guess, yeah, that's how it happens. So it only happens through contacts. Yeah. The right contacts all over the world.
Yeah.
Everything you've been telling us so far is so motivating. Like we really understand it's not an easy job, right?
No.
It's all in. It's 7
Yes.
days out of 7, sometimes maybe even 24 hours out of 24 hours.
Yes, definitely.
So you have to be fully dedicated, and
Yes.
I realized that probably also the other person, so the co-founder that you have, has to be the same.
Same. Both of us has to be the same.
I imagine you are the same. So I was curious to understand, how did you like find each other? Like, was it you who found your co-founder? Was it your
Co-founder.
co-founder who
Oh,
found
yes.
you?
It
How
is.
did you realize you wanted to create
Well,
this?
yes. Again, that's a very crucial thing, right? You have to have a co-founder where there is never a ego clash, right? For example, if there cannot be a moment where whether he's the face, I'm the face, he's on stage, I am on stage, should not matter us. At the end of the day, he's talking about the company or I am talking, right? So I think that is something most people get it wrong. Don't get a co-founder because it's your best friend. Because honestly, I love my best friend, but I don't think I can work with her. It's very different. She is a corporate person who loves 9 to 5, partying from Friday night. I would have gone mad with her and she would have gone mad with me, right? So it's very important to understand you are asking for someone to really sacrifice day and night of many years of their life. So that person has to have the same mindset. So the way we were in the same architecture college, 5 years we were at the same college, but we never spoke to each other. We were not friends. So we connect
That's
and
funny.
it's very funny. And he left for US. He started a company in drones in Asia. He exited that. He left for Case Western in Cleveland. And then he was in Chicago where he was working on his healthcare tech company. And he was coming back to Asia where we connected on LinkedIn because we saw that we both have done MBA after architecture, which is a very rare thing to do. And he was working on his third tech company and I started working on him just as a friend. We became best friends and we realized that we are equal crazy. Like we were like equally workaholic, equal crazy. We would not give up. And
You have to be similar a little bit, right? In order
yes,
to.
just on that. Yes, just on that you are equally crazy and workaholic. Otherwise, he's completely different person than me. He's a pure into tech and finance, and ideally, he doesn't like meeting people a lot. He loves to be with his strategy. So we are very different people. So it works perfectly between just two of us. We can handle everything if necessary.
Okay, wow, amazing. So you are satisfied so far, I imagine. And have you ever thought like maybe more co-founders would be better? Like, have you ever felt like that probably the two of you is not enough, that you would have wanted, I don't know, people
Yeah.
who could like, start it together with you, but with some specific capabilities? I don't know, like focus on product or tech, for example.
Always looking out, to be honest, always looking out for the right people. Because if I can trust someone, they have the same vision, if they can take a bit of the tech or whatever and free up some of my time so that I can grow the company better, I think we're always looking out for the right people. But as I said, we have to be very particular they have the same vision.
Okay.
Because yeah, that's all. The moment I kept someone, I'm all in. Yeah, it's definitely always open.
Okay, and how many people are there now in Bigthinx AI?
So in the tech front, there is, I think, 20 plus people. I am the only person in the company who does not code.
Okay,
The
people who do that
importance
for
of
you.
coding.
All of them are, you can call them techies or very tech heavy people. And
Yeah.
we obviously have very senior people globally. They're in London, US, Milano, right partners, who help us reach the right people, Germany. So they are all over. They're very senior people. They are not tech. But apart from that, just coding, a part of it 20 plus, the part of it is in India. Then we have in London and in the US.
How did you find
Okay.
them? Did you just like reach out to people through
Find them. Oh
LinkedIn,
my,
or did you know them?
right now, because of the innovation that we do, and I think people, I won't say everyone, certain section of the people have realized at the early, in your career, if you get the right exposure, later they can, maybe start their own, or do whatever they want. But right now, what they
Yeah.
want is not a job that might even give them a heavy, crazy salary, but no exposure. They realize it very well, some of them, that in 6 months, even if they're getting crazy money but are on bench, the company doesn't have a role. Or like an active AI project, for example, they are literally losing out because the world is moving very fast. So honestly, they all reach out to us. I get applications globally, and I'm honored for their faith in us. And if I post on LinkedIn, you will not believe, in 1 hour or 2 hours, I close my post because of the crazy applications I receive. And I get so overwhelmed that I will not be able to reach all of them and say thank you, or, I feel so scared that I just close my post. So yes,
It's a
same.
good
Yeah,
problem to have.
it's a good problem to have, but it's just that there are amazing people out there who wants to do amazing things. It's hard to find. Hopefully, yeah, it's hard, but they are there.
That's great.
And so I just wanted to ask you one more thing. I was reading online that actually the company has now like several headquarters all over the world, which is quite impressive, right? So I wanted just to understand where it all started. So where like it was the first headquarter, and how you, let's say, selected the other headquarters, like how you planned the opening of other headquarters based on, I don't know, like fashion city, or for example, I
Yes.
don't know, you wanted to expand there based on
Yes,
something.
very valid question. Honestly, again, the location plays such an important role. When we were in Milan, and it so happened because of the pandemic, we were in the last flight out of Milan. Because if you realize, after China, Milan was the epicenter of the pandemic.
Yes, I was
So,
there.
oh, you were there? Oh my God, you were throughout the pandemic. So
I
you know
was
it
there
well.
too, but I escaped immediately.
I
I
I
left
was in
Vlad
the
alone.
Oh my God, I was in the last flight out. I completely hear you guys. I was in the last flight out of Milano, and I didn't know that it was the last flight. So we just got a call, get the next flight out, get the next flight out. And everything was
Wow.
crazy expensive.
So scary. Oh my
It
God.
was insane. And
With the
I,
military and the police in the street. It
it
was
was nobody
unbelievable.
was let, yeah, so that's how we went the last flight out of Milan. And we thought, we landed in Bangalore, where a part of my tech team was, Bangalore in India. We thought we'll be there for 1 2 weeks, then Milan will let us in, we'll go back. It just so happened, as we landed in Bangalore, everything was fine. Suddenly Bangalore went to lockdown, and we were like, what is happening?
My God.
And then we were stuck throughout the pandemic. And we, for investments, we were honestly supposed to make the big office in Netherlands. For English speaking, Netherlands, if you know, is advanced in fashion, sustainability, and technology. So we were in the final stages, but the only problem was the final stage needed a physical signature, and we could
No
not
way.
fly. Yeah, we could
Of
not
course.
fly to Netherlands. And because of this, we headquartered in the US, Delaware, because that was possible remote.
Okay.
That was honestly, that's how it happened. And 2020, I think, when we started in the US. And after that, it so happened we were supposed to go back. We were in Milano. The UK government invited us, and they really convinced us that no, Bigthinx, you have to move to London. There's huge scope, and it made a lot of sense for us. One was English speaking. The second is the time zone. Everyone is always passing London from Asia, from US. There's a stop by, and it is so easy to have meetings, major deals there. Burberry is my client there. So yeah, Google London is a close partner of mine. So last year I received the Google Women in AI, for one of the Google Women in AI in is Europe and Israel. So through that, we are very closely tied with Google offices. And so, yes, that's how we landed up in London. So our headquarters is US, and then we have a subsidiary in the UK. Both of them very, very efficient for any company.
Yes. And you also have offices in New York. Did you mention
Yes,
that
yes, we
before?
have partners,
Or
definitely.
rather,
We do have,
okay.
yes, yeah, we have team and partners in different cities globally, obviously, yeah.
And Dubai as
Interesting.
well, I was
Yes,
reading, right?
yes, that's
Okay.
again a big market, right?
Yes,
All the
the
main
hottest
fashion
point.
cities basically you're covering already.
Yes.
And see, every startup has kind of like a moment where things almost fell apart. What was yours? What was a big
That was,
challenging moment for Bigthinx 3D AI?
I guess, many, that it'll be a lie if a founder says there were one. I guess there will always will be many, right? It's obviously without saying names. Sometimes it so happens we all have women here, and we do all face sexism at some point. And so there was a moment where we were raising a very big round of investment, and due diligence, everything was done for 8 months. It's like the final day, everything was just done, completed, and my co-founder met with an accident, and he was like, he had a bad injury in his, and in that state he went to the meeting. Instead of going to the emergency, he was in the meeting. And
Wow.
it is insane. He's like, I can't be unprofessional. All the seniors are waiting, so I have to be in the meeting. And he went to the meeting. And after that, the investor just ghosted us because the male co-founder was injured. And it was like, yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's like, fine, I have no complaints. Maybe, I understand. Maybe they got scared because he was injured. He was fine. I mean, in 7 days, he was back to work. He was critical, but he was
How is
back
he
to work.
right now, first of all?
He's perfect. Yeah, he's perfect. He's
Okay.
perfect. He was back at work with his team in just 7 days. But I
Wow.
think it
Okay.
scared them. And imagine you have to get 20 million in your bank, and suddenly, after 8 months of crazy due diligence, and suddenly they're like, it makes you believe that, yeah, founders are not humans. They're supposed to be like robots, can't get injured or whatever. So yeah, that was kind of the hit. But yes, always a bad times teaches you so much. We realized that did not need that big round of investment at all. So it really changed our
Well,
whole strategy.
and maybe he wasn't like the group of investor wasn't the right fit for you
But
guys. That
definitely not.
also,
Definitely, they're not right fit for anyone,
yeah,
because
exactly.
you need to understand that founders are extremely hardworking. They sacrifice everything, but they're humans. They might get COVID. They might get just the minor injection or whatever, surgery. It's normal. They'll obviously come back. But yeah, if you just pull out, I mean, it's quite scary. You don't want that person in your journey. But as I said, nothing to feel bad. Everything teaches you so much. It's your mindset. I never
Yes.
cried about it. It's just need to understand, the right people. Let's relook at our strategy. And it just helped us. It helped us for better. But yeah, it just hits you one day. But okay, sit in the corner, cry one day, get up next day.
100%. Yeah.
Get
Like
up.
process everything and just start over. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And see, you mentioned some of the like skills that you have as a founder of this company, right? You said that you are workaholic. You put yourself 100% into what you're doing, and I can see the passion that you have while you're talking about Bigthinx. I don't know, the thing that about being a founder that nobody warned you about, that you didn't expect.
Yes, that's again, a very valid. I think the only thing, no, so I am workaholic, I'm crazy, but I was not prepared that it would affect my parents
Wow.
because they don't deserve it. Because when I am super stressed, obviously we do have a super stressed life, because once I have a team, the team is they're like my kids. Their lives are their families are my responsibility, right? So I obviously have a much bigger responsibility than just having a job. I think it just hit me when my mom is a cancer survivor, and they're growing old, and like when my stress I would see on them, and I would just like tell, oh my God, I didn't expect this, because I am crazy, but it should not pass to my parents or my loved ones, and sometimes it does, because your mom obviously understands everything. I never share anything, but it's just that I think they can figure out from your voice or what. Moms are like that. So yes, that is the
Yeah.
one thing I was not prepared for. It hit me, but then it's fine. Yeah. Now they know that she's crazy. She's happy. I say, Mom, you want to be happy? She's like, yeah, okay, I'm happy. So that's what should matter to you. And yeah, she's now used to it. She's like, okay, crazy girl, let her be.
Yeah, it's a perspective that I never thought about, to be honest.
Yeah.
The eyes of people that are actually close to you, and how do they perceive your stress
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
involvement in
Yeah.
the company.
And
It's
obviously,
true.
you lose your friends. I lost all my friends because I work so much. I cannot go on a party if my schedule is not blocked. So some people think that maybe I'm just trying to act pricey. I'm not, trust me, I'm not.
You're just
Just
super
you don't
busy
have
in that
time.
way.
Yeah, it's just that I cannot just, I cannot party whole night. That's not something I can do. So some friends will stick by. Most of you will leave. It's fine. It's part of the journey.
Of course. And so, what advice, for example, would you give to the entrepreneurs who are just like starting now? And so, especially the ones who are trying to build like a tech-driven startup in a traditional industry such as fashion. Do you have any
Definitely.
suggestions?
First thing, you should be extremely well read. I tell this to anyone and everyone I meet. See, whenever a founder starts, we think our idea is the best in the world and nobody else is doing it, right? Because we think, oh, I'm the best. Please don't think that. Be extremely humble. See who's doing in the world. Read so much. Travel if necessary. Meet people. Meet a lot of experts. You will be shocked to know that somebody in some part of the world is definitely doing it. And that is also
So,
not, yeah,
learn your
yeah,
competitors, right? That's what you're
learn. And it's
suggesting.
nothing to feel scared of, right? If someone is doing it, it means you are in the right space. That means there is a problem that exists. And it is such a big world. There's always scope for so many people trying to solve the same thing, right? It's all about who's focusing where, what price points, so many things. So you have to meet a lot of people, travel the world, read, know everything about it before starting. And please realize it's not a 9 to 5 job. It comes with a sacrifice, but it also, the moment you see a success or the way you're impacting a life, it also gives you the happiness that you will not get. So if you're up for that, just don't give up. Just don't give up. You have to be super positive. That's the only thing. You cannot let any negativity get to you, any no's get to you.
And how do you feel your company manages to distinguish itself from other companies?
Yes.
What is your competitive advantage, let's say?
Yes, the biggest competitive advantage is the scalability, how we can help brands scale fast at 1/10 the cost. And it is so, agile. I mean, it can solve so many different problems. For the 3D content creation, as I said, I talk about the bags, you talk about avatars, they talk about apparel. It can be shoes you can use in the 3D configurators and incorporate with the design stage. And if you need to know the right size, just take a body scan and we can just tell you exactly. It is because as a retailer, they don't want to go to 10 different, vendors for 10 different solutions. They would like to work with a company. They would understand the pain points, and some of the pain points are just evolving. They themselves don't know. So I think that's our biggest. Our tech is so agile and it's so dynamic. It can be easily incorporated, in the whole lifestyle space and even home furnishing now in the home space.
That's incredible. And no, thanks a lot for all the insight. And regarding the competitors, I really do agree with you. Like, one of the biggest misconstruction is that you don't want to create a company because there are already competitors operating in that space, but not always the one player wins the entire market. Most of the time it's not like that. So the fact that there are competitors, it means that there is a pain
Problem.
point. There is a
Yeah.
problem to
Yes.
solve. So it's a
Yeah.
good sign, actually.
It's a good sign.
Yeah. No, but just because we are finishing this amazing interview, we want to ask you the final question that we ask to all our guests, and is, what keeps your momentum going? What gets you a momentum in your job, in your life?
Honestly, when I see the kids, I call them kids, the work in Bigthinx, when I see them change and evolve, like they joined and they did not know anything. I said, don't get scared. Okay. We'll train you. Fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Calm down. And then 1 year down the line, this person, I am not joking, is capable of beating someone with 10 years experience in maybe a traditional corporate company, because the person is working with, we're very, very selective of the brands we work because of the team, so that they get only the best teams to work with, the brands to work with, not just like anyone who's paying me. So it's very important, and they get exposure to the biggest brands, the most amazing brands, the latest technologies, the pain points, and they evolve as humans completely. And it's not tech evolution, it's like overall the whole personality evolves. And when you see that, I mean, like, I really impacted the life. I think there's no way it's not going to pull you up the next day. So, and the best part is, as founders, I cannot, no matter how sad I am, they cannot see that face of mine. So I don't get a chance to cry, which is a good thing. So, which keeps the momentum going.
You
And
have
if
to
I
have
can add
energy.
something, yeah, from my side, you're literally selling the dream to all the girls, all men even, because like trying something online without even going to the store. Thanks to the pandemic in a certain way, right? We are
Yes,
so happy,
that's
because
true.
we really feel like the digital world is here, is
It's here.
at our doors. So, like, we cannot ignore it anymore. But at the same time, it facilitates our life so much, and it gives us back so much time that we usually spend like going to the shops and really like trying here and there, because we were just blindly ordering stuff online, and then we were trying at home whenever the stuff is coming. But now that we can really try it on our own body, it's amazing. Like, I swear,
Yes.
I'm amazed. So beautiful.
Had this conversation with Vlada so many times because she is a huge fan of buying online, and I am a very skeptical buyer online, let's say, because I hate to just send the
I
things back.
understand.
I hate that. It's super annoying. So you're not solving only a problem for the companies, like it's a B2B business, but you're solving it for us, like for like the B2C audience, let's say, because I hate it. Like, I rather keep the product than sending them back. I don't know why. It just mentally it bothers me
It's
to go to the
you're
post office
more
and send them back.
sustainable conscious. Maybe you're more conscious that what's going the impact it actually does. It's actually very bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's annoying to go there in the first place. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a huge problem that you're solving. That's for sure. We are big fan of your work.
Oh,
So thank you so
thank you.
much.
Exactly,
Oh, thank you
absolutely.
so much. No, I mean, like, you both are in Milano.
No,
We're
so actually we were in Milano, both of us, and then we both moved. Erika moved to Barcelona and I moved to Geneva. So yeah, so we are not in the same location, but we used actually to live together at some point in Milan.
Oh my
And
God, that's
now, yes, we
amazing.
just stay in touch, yes, in a digital way.
That is so sweet. I was in Navili in
you
Milano.
we were what?
I was in
Okay.
Navili in Milano. Yeah, Navili. Yeah,
Did you like them?
it's beautiful. It's filled with all the places, right? It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Milan, you can't take fashion out of Milan.
No,
No,
exactly.
it's a very unique city for fashion. Of course, it's the fashion
You
capital
can, yeah,
of
it's
the world.
beautiful. Yeah. And I do visit often because of that. And we have our partners there. Yeah.
Okay, so you're very often in Milan, right?
Yes, I do visit Milano.
Okay.
Yes. And just to also talking to some of the biggest brands now. So yes, I'll send the links after this for Gucci bags.
Yes, please do that. In the
Thank you so
meantime, we
much.
wish you the best of luck. See,
Thank
I'm
you.
sure you will kill it in this space, and I hope that to get in touch with you again sometime soon, so that we can do another episode maybe.
And we have to meet in some part of the world. I leave
With
I have a
great pleasure.
yeah, I have a very old WhatsApp number. I leave it with you guys over our email. Please do keep in touch over WhatsApp.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you
If
guys.
you
We
stop by, if you
enjoyed.
stop in Barcelona, please let's get in touch. I would love to show you around, or in
I
Geneva
would love
for
that.
brother.
I would love that. Lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you so much. Yeah.
enjoyed our time together so much, and yeah, thank you
Thank
for
you.
doing such a great impact in a nowadays world. We really appreciate that, and we hope to stay in touch and to follow your future successes. So if we can catch up maybe
Then we will
sometime
definitely
in the
we'll catch up
future.
another time because I will actually show you the products. Yeah, we'll get
Yes,
on a call
pleasure.
and we'll show you. I'll get my co-founder and also show you something very new that we're working on. I'll show you all of it.
Thank you. Thank you very
Amazing.
much.
Yes.
Yeah. So much. Thank you so much. You both are gorgeous, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Stay safe. Ciao.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.